What is up, beautiful people? Alright, so what are we gonna do today? This is gonna be part 4 of building a cards game. In fact, it's gonna be Blackjack game with written in TypeScript. So today we're gonna look at refactoring a little bit what we built yesterday. We're gonna refactor the backend a little bit. I was looking into how I wanted the architecture to be like, the design, the code design to be like. So today we're gonna add interfaces, and we're gonna segregate a little bit and change the, if you want, the structure a bit so that it matches the architecture design. Anyways, for those that don't know me, my name is Marius and I am a seasoned developer. I focus primarily on web applications of any kind. I'm very versed with cloud solutions, and I work with different programming languages such as PHP, TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, etc. All right, let's go. So we're gonna start by refactoring some code here. You don't see the file structure on my end, but I will definitely refactor this into interfaces and models, perhaps. Let's do this. So models and interfaces. So yeah, the name of the game is gonna be Blackjack, right? So we're gonna need a player, a dealer, a card, and the actual Blackjack game. That's all we're gonna do. So I'm gonna be talking and walk you through what I'm doing here, right? And so we're gonna create the interface for cards, and it's gonna be card TS. Perfect. All right, so all right, let's get going. So this one is gonna be the interface. So we need to define a few things. So first, we need to define two types at least, which is gonna be, there you go. Like I have hinting from the software. Anyways, so I need the. So what do you have in the card? You have, I think they're called suits, right? And you have a rank. So we're gonna go by that. So the suit can be that hearts, and we're gonna go like this, or it can be, and we're gonna go like this. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you do it. It can be single or the single. It can be hearts, it can be spades, or it can be clubs, and or diamonds. Those are the 4 that you can have, right? And the next thing, what we want to do, we want to create a type for the rank. Now those are all the types here, and I'm not going to type them myself. I'm just going to tab it here, and that's all we have. So we have from 2 to ace, right? And we're going to discuss a little bit about the rules. The rules of Blackjack are straightforward, so that up till 10, when you're looking at the card value, you have the face value of the card, right? But then Jack, Queen, and King, the value of that is 10. And then for ace, you can have 1 or 11. For now, I think I'm gonna stick to 11, and we're gonna programmatically make it work with 1 a little bit later. Okay, now let's create an interface. Oh, actually, let's export interface card. Actually, let's name it iCard because it's an interface, right? And then inside here, you're gonna have a suit, and you're gonna have okay, and you're gonna have a rank, right? Okay, and then do we need anything else for the card? Yeah, we do. So we want to have maybe get the value of the card. So this is gonna be a function. Get value. So we can do that. And we can also say public get value, and then this is gonna return a number, right? So something like that. Actually, see something here? Okay. So let's just do that then. Okay, that's it. So this should be good. This should be the interface for card. Let's create a new one for player. Okay. And so the player, it's going to import a card because it needs the cards. So what does a player have? So we're going to do... So let's just import the card. From card. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to do export interface player. And so we're going to have a name. Yep, let's do a name, which is going to be a string. A player can have a hand, right? Which is going to be an array of cards. So for that, we're going to do actually iCard. And then, do we want to have a balance? Not really. That's it. I think we can just keep it simple for now. And then we can get, we can print we can create some functions like get name or something, and get name. This is gonna be string. And we can say add card maybe, right? And then this is gonna be iCard or card. It's gonna be iCard, right? And it's gonna return void. Something like that. And then the last one, we want to have another one for actually for dealer maybe. It's gonna be the same thing. And for the dealer, we just need the hand, I guess. Yeah, let's double check something. Okay, interface I dealer. And this one, so the dealer, does he need a name? Sure. You can just create a random name or something. And then hand is gonna be a card, and then the same thing, get name and add card. It's gonna be added here. Right, okay. Okay, once we have that, let's create the model now. Okay, so I need suite, rank, and card. And here, export class card implements iCard. Okay, and then so we're gonna have a public suite, which is gonna be part of suite here, which is gonna then we're gonna have a rank, public rank, and we're gonna have a hand. Actually, no, we're not gonna have a hand. Okay. All right. Let's see what the error is. Mm. Get value. So this is the this is gonna return a number, right? This is where we had previously we had a script right here, and the value was coming from here, right? So we're gonna take this and we're gonna use the same logic in here. Yeah. So we can say if the we can say if it's ace, like ace, because it's a type, right? Yeah. And then we can return 11. All right. Then it doesn't work like that. And then you can say if this rank or queen or king return 10. So if this rank is equal to jack or queen or king, we want to return 10. Else, we're just gonna return we're gonna parse the integer of the face value for the card, and parse int is easy enough here from the rank. We don't need to replace anything. Okay. And that's it, because we know it's not gonna be string now, because ace, jack, queen, and king are already tested for, and the deck should not have any other values, right? So this is a much more cleaner approach to what I had before. This is the actual implementation of the card class. It's awesome. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We want to create the model class, so the class for player as the cards, the player, and then we'll do the dealer. All right, so I imported the interfaces, the iPlayer and iCard. Export class player implements iPlayer, and then we just need to refer back to the interface. So we will need a name, a hand, okay, and we'll need get name and add card. So we need to implement those. And so in the player, in the constructor, we're gonna have, so let's define the properties first. So public name is gonna be string. Then we're gonna have hand, which is gonna be an array of cards. So it's gonna be iCard. We can default it to empty. Like name, string, iCard. So let's go back. So name, I guess that's about it, right? So in the constructor, so we're gonna have name, which is gonna be a string, and we don't need to initialize the hand, obviously, because it's gonna be empty, right? So I think that's it. So we're gonna do this name equal name. Alternatively, what you can do here in the constructor, you can say that hand is empty, like something like this, equal empty, and then you don't have to specify like card, because of this type here, it will assume that because it's empty, it will assume that it's a card class or interface. However, we do need to get the getter for name, so public get name, and then this would return a string, and it would just return this dot name, which gets access to this property here. In fact, the name and the hand can be private, right? And then this kind of like forces you to implement some like getters for it, add card. So here we can even do get hand, and this would return an array of cards like so. Okay, card, iCard, and then this one would return, yeah, okay, perfect. So we can say public get hand or get cards, but let's just put get hand, and it would return that. Okay, and then we can do public add card, and this one is going to be the card with type of iCard, void, and here we're just going to do this hand push, and we're going to pass the card, and we don't need to return anything here. Okay. Here. Okay, it says incorrectly, so it's probably because of, let me double check. Get name, add card, and get hand. Add card, it's supposed to be okay. Does the order mean anything? Get hand. Let's see. Maybe it's the return or it's the order. I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, I see what the problem is. Right, okay. So this is the problem. We have to be explicit about this. Interesting. Interesting. So let's do a quick test. Okay, so in an interface on, I don't think you can't do that in an interface, right? So that's that. Or maybe the problem is how I'm doing that here, where the hand is gonna be like so. Same issue, obviously. It says incorrectly implements the interface. Property name is private in type player, but not in type iPlayer. Doesn't make much sense. This makes sense. I'm just trying to see the documentation on that. Okay. Honestly, it's fine the way it is. It shouldn't give the error. Yeah, no, this looks good. It shouldn't give the error. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might have to remove private in that case, but it doesn't make sense because the interface doesn't care. It doesn't care about modifiers, access modifiers. It shouldn't care. I should be able to do this with no errors whatsoever. This doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense whatsoever. Just double check, but I'm pretty sure this is correct. Yeah. This is correct. Most definitely. Yeah. This looks good. Let's try again. Private. Yes. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. Let's see. That's still okay. Let's try that. It's not cool. All right, let's just try that. Maybe when we run the compiler, it's gonna work fine. But honestly, like, this is fine. Sure. So refactor. Check for bugs and null pointers. I don't know if. No, we don't want this. No, reject. Okay. So we'll see at compile time. Okay, let's move on with the next thing. So we have the player. Honestly, the dealer is gonna be the same implementation. I'm thinking, do we want to do the dealer? Probably not. Probably yes. Yeah, let's create one more for dealer. This is gonna be a little bit different. iPlayer, okay. This is gonna be dealer instead of iPlayer. Okay. It's same issue as the player, obviously. That's fine. Okay. That's good. so after we have that, we're just gonna create the blackjack game, I guess. So let's import all the files, everything we need. Let's import the interfaces first. I'm gonna do iCard, suit and rank from card. Player, dealer. We don't need the player and the dealer. Actually, we do. Yeah. Here's models. Okay. And we need a card. Oops. There's a problem with this. Okay, it's gonna be that. Like so. Where's my dealer model? I think I need to explore. Yeah, of course. Like that. Okay, good. And we just need to import a card now. So it's gonna be card from models card. Okay, so it's the let me just adjust the light here. Right.
If you're a pro that paints, the real question is how much are you paying per gallon? Get everyday low prices on Behr paint, stains, and primers only at the Home Depot. And pros get up to 20% back in rewards
All right,
with our Pro
cool.
Extra Paint Loyalty Program. That's how pros do more. Visit homedepot.ca/BehrPro.
So what we're gonna have here, we're gonna have a bunch of things. So we're gonna have the player, we're gonna have the dealer, we're gonna have the deck actually. And we can do status of the game, excuse me, I guess. And we can say dealer, and then we can have a deck, which is going to be an array of cards. And then we can initialize to empty, but yeah. And we can just say game status. So false is gonna be active, or game active status, something like that. Okay. Good. Good. So let's see. And another thing we can do here, so you see the name of the player does not come from outside. Like when you construct this, the game, the name comes from the actual object for the player, right? And that entails that you're gonna have to create the object outside. And so for that purpose, I'm gonna do the constructor like so. So we have a player, just gonna be of iPlayer type, and here I'm using the interface as a type reference because I want the flexibility in the future. If you want to add new players, you don't need to refer to the actual player class, but you can just refer to the interface, and it guarantees the same structure, right? And so yeah, just for more flexibility. And then the dealer is gonna be iDealer. Okay. Character, good. And then we're just gonna pass the player to player and dealer, perfect. And then the card deck, we can initialize the card deck now because it does not exist. And so for that we can create a function. We can create a private function actually. And you don't need to mention functions. Create deck. And then it returns void. That's fine. Or it can return. Or it can return the actual. I think just create deck is fine. Okay, and so we had that somewhere here. Let's double check. No, we're just gonna create a new one. That's fine. Okay, what happened to the music? Let's put some music here. Okay, good.
Welcome to the Black Zone.
All right. So what do we got here? So we're gonna have suites, which is gonna be It's gonna be part of the suite object class. It's from the type, like so. And then now we can actually define this, right? So it's gonna be my goodness. I think we can do something like this. Okay, so let's just implement like that, and then ranks. This is gonna be the rank, and it's gonna be ace or 2 to 10 jack. Okay, let's do that. Perfect. And now we're just gonna loop for through this. So for suites, just put like that. Ranks. Oops. Of suites. And so we're gonna loop over that. And now we have to loop over, so for rank of ranks. And the way you're gonna do this is just like so. And now we need to create an object for each of the card of the combination of suite and rank. And we're just gonna create the card object based on the card class, right? And this is where we're gonna do that. So this deck push, and we're gonna say new card, and then the card is gonna have a suite and a rank. And let's check the order again. Where's my card? So yeah, the suite is first and rank is second. So it's gonna have suite, and then it's gonna have rank right here. Perfect. So this will create our deck, and now we can just call this dot create deck. So if I'm correct, until now we can maybe test this. Okay, and so we're gonna be able to test this in a second. So in the main TS script, I'm gonna rename this to main.1 because it's gonna be a backup. I mean, we're not gonna use this again. So main, just main1, I guess, and we're gonna create another main. Just create main. Yes, perfect. And so in here, I'm gonna import the Blackjack game. So Blackjack from source Blackjack, yes. And in here, we're gonna create the game. Well, we're gonna have a few. We're gonna need a few things, okay? Let's double check. So we're gonna need a dealer and a player, and for that, we're simply going to do this: import player from. It's gonna be models, source models player, correct? And then we're gonna need a dealer from dealer, perfect. And now we can create a game. So constant Blackjack game. And now we're gonna create the object. So it's gonna be new Blackjack, like so. And so actually, before we do that, let's just create the objects for player and dealer. So it's gonna be new player. I'm gonna come back to the params in a second, and then it's gonna be constant dealer, new dealer. Okay. So for each of those models, we're gonna have to pass some params, which is the name, right? And so here, my name is first. This is gonna be Marius, which is the player, and then the dealer is gonna be Ace. Let's just call it Ace. Ace dealer. There you go. Okay. And so now we're gonna have to pass the two objects to Blackjack. So I'm gonna do player and dealer, like so. Okay, so I'm getting a few errors right here. It says of type player is not assignable to parameter of type iPlayer. Well, it should be because player implements iPlayer, right? I think that's what the problem is. Okay, moving on. So for the blackjack game, I think what I want to do, I want to create a function to get the cards just for testing. Get deck. Okay. And it's going to return the cards. Yes. Okay. Turn this deck. Perfect. Because we just created a deck and then I want to print it. So after this is printed, I want to console log blackjack game, but I wanna call get deck, right? Just like so. All right, cool. So finally we can run something. That was a lot of typing, and typically when I code, I run the program in the background for testing as we go, but this time I did not do it. Anyways, let's do this. So it's gonna be ts node main.ts. Yep. So okay, so that was correct indeed. We're getting this error, right? Right. I think, okay, I see what the problem is. So really the problem is that those should be public, to be honest. And that fixes. Okay, so the reason for that is that interfaces do not have access modifiers, and it's gonna force you to design with public, which kind of sucks because the whole point of this was to, like, I wanted this to be private to the class only, but I guess it doesn't work like that. And boom, problem fixed. There you go. Okay, so we got our code here. This is the output. And let me just create sorry, not that. And create a folder, and I'm gonna put the old code. I'm gonna put it in the old. Okay, like so. Update imports. Yes, I guess. We're missing a file, which is card deck. Is not under root dir. File main TS is not under root dir. Okay. No, it is. What is this? Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so for that, okay, in that case, we're just gonna do that. And I think, okay, that's the problem because the root dir is source. Okay. It's not under root dir. Oh, okay. I see. I did a mistake there. Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna have old in there, and then okay, now it's good. All right. So let's run again. Okay. We're gonna have a small issue. Cannot find module main TS. Yeah, right. Let's double check. Let's double check. Right, so let me, okay, it's because I'm not in source, perfect. Okay, so let's run the command again. Right, okay. Where's my blackjack thing here? That's the problem. In the main TS. I think I just need to update everything with source in that case. No. I guess it's good now. I guess it takes a compiler a little bit of time to get the updates. So this is what we got. This is my deck, and it should be about 52 combinations. Let's double check that. So we can do deck let our constant actually deck equals. And we can print deck, and then we can print the length of the deck by doing so. Nope, I made a mistake here. Like that. Yep, so it's 52, perfect. And so next, what we want to do, we want to shuffle, and we're going to reuse the same function I had yesterday for shuffling, which was, let me find it. It's in the old. Okay. Okay, create deck, and then here we can do private shuffle deck. And then this is gonna be void. And in here, let me just take this here. Oops. I just need, let's see, cards. Right. Okay, so it's gonna be, so I'm gonna do let deck equals this deck, and then we're gonna do the shuffling like so. Sounds good. And so for here, I'm gonna do deck length, and then okay. Really, that's all it takes. And then once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna replace the deck with a new one right here, like so. Perfect. And then in the constructor, after we create a deck, we can just call the shuffle. Like so. And so now if I run the script again, each time I run the script, it should have a random order of the cards. Let's see. Okay. So this is the first one. Let's just look at the first few. So we have clubs of 5 of clubs. We have jack of clubs. We have a 6 of spades, 8 of hearts, 8 of spades, etc. Let's take a look. Let's run it again. And now we should have another order, a different order, which is correct. Ace of hearts, 8 of clubs, etc. Yeah. So I'm okay with this. I'm satisfied with that. Okay. And so what do we do next? So just close this. All right. I'm gonna just adjust the brightness here. My goodness, this thing doesn't want to work. I guess this is good enough. Okay, so let's just do a recap of what we have. So we created interfaces for card, dealer, and player. Then we created the models, which are the implementations of the interfaces. So we did card, dealer, and player. And we are now creating the Blackjack game, which is the main class that would handle the game engine. And this is the one here. So we don't need to import those two. Okay, perfect. Yep, that's good. And so we have the create deck, shuffle deck. And so we're gonna need to create the action for dealing the initial cards. Obviously, I think it's gonna be 2 each for the dealer and for the player. And so this is gonna be cool. Let's just do public deal initial cards, and this one is gonna be void. And here it's gonna be 2 each, right? So two for player, and then 2 for dealer. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Oh, it's gonna be very simple. And this action should happen if, so for example, if like if deck or if not deck. So if we don't have anything in the deck, you can also look at the length, but fine. So we can throw an errors here or something, saying that it's empty. But for now, we don't need to do that. Or we can just do a console log or something. Deck is empty, right? Something like that. And then for this, it's gonna be. So let's add a card. And so the way it's gonna work, it's gonna be from the deck, right? So this it's gonna be this player, and then we're gonna do add card, right? And then here, now we're gonna have to pop 1 card from the deck. So how we do that? We can just use this. Pop is gonna be easy. It's gonna take from the end, which is fine. I don't care about the order here. It's not that important. Let's take pop. Let's double check this. There's an error here. Okay, argument of type iCard is undefined. Okay, odd card. Okay. Well, you can also do this, and it's gonna work. Right? Because right now it's empty, right? When we initialize this, the deck is empty, and I think that's the problem. Like right here, it's empty. And so by adding exclamation mark here, we can tell TypeScript, hey, trust me, I know what I'm doing. So let's do that. Player, then we can add another card. So we repeat the action from previous line. Exactly the same thing. And so this right now should take 2 cards from the deck, put them in the hand of the player. And so let's do the same thing for the dealer. Add card And then it's going to do stack pop. And it's going to be the same idea. Let me double check something. Yep. And so, yeah, let's repeat this 2 times. And that's it. There you have it. Now you have the initial cards. Now we have the cards. And let's call this... so maybe we can call this inside a function called start game, right? Start game, right? And then can be void, and then we can make this this private. Okay, and then sorry, we don't need to write function. And then in here we're gonna call the deal initial cards like so, right? I think we're gonna do that. Perfect. And outside in the main, now we can call start game, right? Like so. And after I start the game, both players should have cards in the hand, right? So let's do player get hand, and we're gonna repeat the same for dealer. Okay. And let's see what we got. Perfect. So as you can see, so I got, according to this, I got ace of clubs and I got an 8 of clubs. And then the dealer got a 6 of clubs and a 4 of diamonds. Let's try again. Okay. Yep, it's different order obviously because the deck has changed. Perfect. So I'm satisfied with this. This works. Okay, so let's see what else do we need in the Blackjack engine. So to start the game, we deal the initial cards, and so now I have to rebuild that logic that will require the input of the player. And so you have 2 actions. In fact, you have hit or stand. So hit is okay, give me another hand, and then stand is like okay, I have enough. And then the rules are, I think you can do a point system so that if you have blackjack, you give 3 points and then you get 1 point if you have a higher hand than the dealer. We can work on that in more detail, but yeah, so far so good. I think the other thing we don't have, maybe we can build it now, is to calculate like the amount of points based on like I said, based on it's the value, which we did code this in the cards, right? And so you just have to code the value, and then what's happening once you get the value, you just add that, right? You do a sum of it, and based on the hand. So let's say if in your hand you have 3 cards, well, you're just gonna loop over the cards and you're gonna call this function get value, and you're gonna add them up, and then that's your initial, that's your end value, right? So okay, let me show you how it works. So let's say, okay, so once I start a game, and I think we can also put the status to true, right? And then yeah, we can say while game is active. Okay, I like that, sure. And then we can say Now we don't need that. So here we're gonna have to build a mechanism, the logic to ask the player, do you want to draw another card or not, right? And from the deck, and that's it. Okay, so how we're gonna do that? Let me think here. Yeah, we can do this a similar approach to what we had in the old code. And I believe it was somewhere here. Yeah, it's this one here. Right? Where it says, would you like to draw another card? And we used readline sync. So yeah, I'm okay with that. We can do this. And this is gonna happen for human player only, right? And that's why where it's important to know that, okay, if it's human, if it's not a dealer actually, if it's a player turn, then you're gonna have to manually ask for that. If it's the dealer, then you're gonna do that automatically. Yeah, I like that. Just trying to think, how can we do the turn? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to process the turn. And each turn there's gonna be an action. The action is gonna be, what does the player want to do? The action is hit, so let's just put it here. Actions possible, it's gonna be hit or stand. Which is equivalent to, if you hit, it means, yeah, I want to draw another card. And if I don't want to draw a card, it means stand really. So we're gonna code it based on, would you like to draw another card? But it's only gonna be required if you're a player, right? Okay, so let's think how we're gonna do this. no, I don't want that. Okay, so validate player height. So this is the old method, which is okay. So we had a function called validate player hand. So this is the one that would check, okay, did you have a blackjack, did you have bust, etc. So we can do the same. I don't think I want to change that for now. So since we dealt 2 cards, we can validate actually, right? And then we can create a private function here. Private function validate hand. Validate. We don't need player necessarily. We just need validate hand of cards, right? And this one is going to be a boolean, and then we don't need function. And then here, so this one is going to be cards, and it's going to be by card, an array of like so. And it's going to return boolean, right? And again, let's think about this. So the point is that it's going to return true if you have a blackjack, right? If you have a blackjack, or how do we want to do this? Or you have gone over blackjack, we can say, because validate hand will give you it has to give you the information, do I want to draw on our card, yes or no, right? So it's very important that you code it in a way that you get that information. So let's start with that, and then remember what I said here. We're gonna loop over the cards, and for example, we can have sum or something, or what's it called? What's this? Let's just call it sum. So it starts 0, or we can call them points if you want. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna do points, and then so for constant card of cards, yeah. So we can do that. Constant card of cards, or the points. Now we don't need to do that. Actually, we do. So for constant card of cards, and here we're gonna do points plus equal card just 1 second. And then so you're gonna have card, and then you're gonna have get value, right? And this is gonna be your points, and it's as simple as that, right? And then here we can do some logic. If the points it's more than 21, we can say false, or or points equal 21. So we can say bigger or equal to 21 then. We can do this. Fine. And then you can say if points equal 21, that's the blackjack. And it's gonna be true. And then else it's gonna be okay. You can still draw basically. That's why I want to do it this way. Another way, right? And so if it's so I'm just thinking. Maybe for the points we can return the points and then make a decision. I have to review this subquery. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Crazy duder, nice. I'll have to follow you back. I'm just going low key now. I did not advertise too much. But the idea is that after I'm done with the session, I'm going to compile based on all the sessions I've done. This is the part 4. I'm going to compile everything. I'm gonna make a YouTube video and I'm gonna add it on my YouTube channel, which is tech related. And yeah, it's just gonna be like building a game from ground up. For now, it's just console, as you can see. And yeah, so I had a game running yesterday, but today I decided to make it a little bit more, to architect a little bit better. And that's why I came up with brand new code, more modern object-oriented approach. So this is gonna be a blackjack game, yeah. It's an actual blackjack game with the actual rules that I am implementing right now. And yeah, I'm at the stage where I'm trying to validate the hand. So 21 blackjack. So for now I can just print in the console here. So you can say console. We can log. This is the bust, and then that's a blackjack right here. Blackjack. All right. So let's okay. Let's do this. Let's test. Okay, and then so there you go. We can pass the hand of the player. And then we're gonna have to ask the player if he wants to draw another card, I guess. With 2 cards you can't have blackjack, right? So maybe I can print what the hand is and I'm gonna ask the player, okay, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. So first, so player turn, ask, show player hand. And then second step would be to ask if the player wants to draw another card. Because with 2 cards, you won't be able to have blackjack. Or actually, you can. If you have a 10 and an ace. Yeah, you can. Never mind. So in that case, we're going to validate first. And then if there's something else to do. So let's say if you have a 10 and an ace. Okay, congrats. You got the blackjack. You don't have to do anything. Otherwise, you're gonna be able. We're gonna ask the question, right? So, how we're gonna do this? Perfect. So we're only going to ask if. So we coded validate hand of cards, we code it to return a boolean, right? So which is true or false. It's very simple. So if I'm going to have a true value, only then I'm going to ask the player for the question, does he want to hit or stand? So if, okay, else game is finished, or dealer turn. More like it's dealer's turn, but in this case, the way I code it right now, if it's false, it means that the player has more than 21, which means that doesn't matter what the dealer will draw, it's a loss, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, so while this game active status, we're gonna validate, and then if it's true, now ask player to hit or stand. But first we said we're gonna show player hand, and that's very simple to do because I already coded that, and it's gonna be like so. So this player get hand, I guess. So we can just do console log of that, I guess, or yeah. Actually, we can even we can do a function for that. Private show player hand, right? And then we can pass the player this is gonna be void because it's just gonna be console log. So here we can do console log, and then so this player hand, so we're gonna be gonna print the name, and so we can print it. This is one way to do it, and here we're gonna say like so. Okay, and then we can print the actual hand. So this player get hand. There you go. And so now, instead of doing that, I can just call the function this show player hand. Perfect. And so now I can ask the player for action. So we can just take the code that I did yesterday, which was somewhere here. Actually, no, it was in the main TS, I think. Yep. Right. Okay, it's this one here. So let me import the library first into the Blackjack game. Or maybe we can, oh, let's do it here. Yep. And then where's the main one? Okay, here. So this is what I need to copy. Let's put in the Blackjack. Okay. So input, it's gonna be a question, would you like to draw on our card? Yes or no? If yes, player draw card. Okay, perfect. So let's implement those. And then, so yes is hit, no is gonna be stand. Okay. So how do we draw on our card? Very simple. like so. We can just copy that here, and so this player add card, and we're gonna pop. Pop means removing a card from the deck, just like so. And stand, you don't do anything, player turn is ended, right? And so while game active start, okay. So I think what we can do in the validation, if it's false, we can change the game status to false. The game ended basically, right? And so in that case, if I am bust, this will stop right here. And so let's validate that. Unless I say stand, then I will just skip to the dealer, I guess. But for now, let's just try that. So if I choose to stand, the implementation right now requires me to set the game status to false because it implies it ends, because I did not implement the dealer turn yet. Okay. So let's test. Okay, so start game. Good. Where's my main? I'm gonna remove that. Okay, I don't need to print the deck anymore. We know it's working. Okay, so now when I'm starting the game, it should prompt me. It should do two things. One is gonna show me the hand I have, because the dealer, well, I coded it so that I get 2 cards, and then based on that, it's gonna ask me, do I want to draw another one or not? If there's no errors. Right, there you go. So Marius' hand is, so I have a 6 of clubs and a 7 of diamonds. So it's asking me, do you want to draw another card? And I can say, sure. There you go. So now I have a 6, a 7, and a 3. Alright, do I want another one? So I have 16. Sure. Give me another one. It's a bust. No. So, yeah. I think I can print the points. So I call them points, and I see how many points. I have a bust. See, I don't see the hand when I have the bust. Let me double check the code there. I think I should print the hand to see exactly why it's a bust. Right? So obviously, why? It's because the points, it's more than 21. And so for that, okay. So while this, I can print maybe. Yeah, so the problem is that once it is false, it's not going to show the player hand, and that's the problem. After this action, it does not show it anymore, right? So maybe in that case, what I can do, I can show the initial hand here, player hand, right? And then I go with the loop. Okay, let's do that. And then what I can do, after I take a card, I can show the hand again, right? Or I can also show it here. Okay, let's show it at the end actually. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for the graphical interface, if you want to make something like standalone, for sure, Unreal Engine would be nice. But I'm thinking more like for web technologies, we can use like something like WebGL or whatever. I'm pretty sure they have a web component for like with Unreal Engine to use it in the web in the web browsers, so you can also do that. And that's gonna be the last step. I'm gonna build a client to, instead of doing console, as you can see here, I'm gonna do the actual client. Okay. Okay, let's do something. Alright, so new card, new player hand, whatever. Well, there you go. Blackjack. Nice. Okay, so there you go. So when it's Blackjack, it should not ask, would you like to draw another card, right? So that's an oversight. Let's go back. So if Blackjack, let's go back to... I see why. It's because of that. Okay, so we can do that, and it's not gonna ask you if I do that logic. So let's try again. Okay, 8 for an 8. So they're both diamonds. Okay, sure. Give me another one. Wait, what happened? I'm printing this multiple times. So yeah, so I got a king, and as you can see, it's a bust. But I shouldn't print that many times. Now what's going on? It's because of that for sure, and because of this. Okay. No, okay. So let me do something. Let me just remove that, and then we have to deal with the case where I get a false. So we're gonna do it like this, actually. Okay. Okay, 5 and 2. Yes. Okay. So now I got an ace. So it's gonna be 11. It's gonna be 16. So I'm gonna have 18. Do I want another one? Sure. It's gonna be a bust, obviously. Yeah, there you go. So I got another ace. Cool. Let's try again. This is fun. So actually, you know, there's a game. I don't know if you played The Witcher. It's called Gwent. It's an actual thing where like people around the world are playing Gwent, and right now there's offerings just for Gwent players. But it's such a great game. That's something else that maybe I want to build at some point. All right, so I have 8, 7, 15 with a jack. Boom, bust. Another thing I can do here, I can print player points, but I feel like it's gonna be too easy because in reality you're not gonna have that. You have to calculate yourself, right? So it's part of the game. Is that if you're not that good at math, you can make mistakes, right? So it's part of the game. I don't think I should display the how many points you have at each hand. Yeah. So you have bust or you get a blackjack. Okay, cool. So up till this point, I have all the functionality, albeit written in a much better structure. I have everything I need now to same thing as yesterday. So one last piece I want to add in maybe in the next 10 minutes. I want to add the dealer. So the dealer is the one. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna create an AI based on that. So I want this dealer to learn. So as you take new turns, right? It's gonna learn from the player, and it's gonna become better and better, and it's gonna be harder and harder to beat it. That's my goal with that, right? But for now, I am going to code some simple stuff for the dealer to like this decision of hitting or standing. This is what has to be computed and calculated, and so I'm gonna build like a percentage of how confident is the dealer to pull another card or not, and that confidence might come from, for example, if the points in the cards, let's say if I'm at 18 out of 21, right? Well, the chances of the dealer hitting again are much less. I need to calculate how much less, but it's much less than if the value was 12, for example, or 13, right? So you can code that, and kind of like a weight system. The closer it gets to 21, the more likely or the less likely is the dealer to pull another card, right? Of course, the objective is to have a 21, but if the dealer can, let's say if the player has 18, then the dealer, it's either goes for 21 or slightly like a 19 or a 20, right? But of course, if the dealer has 17, it's a high risk to take another card because you might have a bust and the dealer loses. So, just basic logic. Okay. So, okay, cool. So after the player decides to not, let's do here. So if the player chooses to stand, which is here, now I have to code the dealer here, right? Let's think about it. Because the whole point of this, I want to see, okay, who's the winner, right? Okay, so here, hold the dealer. And so the difference between, like I said, now it's going to be automatic, right? You still have to validate the hand, but now actually it's going to be a little bit different. Right, okay. Yeah, maybe I can, maybe what I can do. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it here. I am going to do it outside of this validation. but the condition is gonna be that the game is still active, right? So if the game is still active, that means that the player hit no. Because with this approach, I'm gonna introduce repetition. So we're gonna have to encapsulate that. So naturally, I guess this is the best place to call the dealer. But then again, I'm gonna have to repeat some code, which is to validate the hand, right? So I think in this case, what I can do. Actually, no, this is perfect. Because validate hands is the cards you're passing to validate hand of cards is agnostic to player or dealer, so I can do the same thing actually. Okay, let's do it like that, and we're gonna refactor after. So here, this dealer get hand. Okay. So if it's false, it's gonna be bust, right? Or something like that, or blackjack, depends. Game is finished, or player turn, or dealer turn. Okay. Yeah, so I stand, and then I'm gonna call the dealer turn. And okay, so it's gonna be the same thing. So the question is, does the dealer want to draw another card or not? That's the question. And so the dealer will need to look into how many accounts, how many cards the player has. What's their points, correct? Okay. Let's see. So actually, that's one question. Second question, like, let's code it based on how close it is to the 21 first. Let's do that, right? So I'm trying to think of a weight system. So let's say if I'm anywhere at 18, then the chances of pulling a car is gonna be 30, 20, 10%, something like that. Okay. So let's do chance of I guess chance of getting a car, I guess, or something. No chance. Let's call it chance. Chance to hit, I guess, yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be a number. Okay, whatever, it's something random now, but we're gonna do that based on a few things. So let's do okay, so what is the points? Okay, so it's gonna be a number. Okay. So see here, since I have to reuse the same function or similar function to what I've used here in the validate hand of cards, because I have to reuse this part, I'm going to create another function called calculate card points, and this one is going to be cards, and then it's going to be a card, okay, and it's going to return a number. So this is called encapsulation. So now I'm going to be able to call this function in multiple places, including this one here, right? So I'm going to have to move. I'm going to move this outside, right here, like so. And I'm going to do return points, and then this is going to be let points here equals this calculate card points, and I'm going to pass the cards, and then this is let points, just like so. And so I'm reusing this function. I'm calling it here once, and then I can now call it here as well. And I can say this calculate points, this dot dealer get hand. This is going to retrieve the cards of the dealer. And so based on the dealer points now, I can create a chance of how close the dealer is to 21, and I will compute a chance, and I'm gonna randomize the computer to trigger that chance, and based on how close they are, we're gonna hit a card. We're gonna hit or stand, right? If that makes sense. Okay, so let's see how do we want to do that. So for now we can say that, yeah, I can start with this. So let's say after 15, it's probably going to be a 50% chance is going to hit anything. So we can start from maybe 12 or 14. And let's say if the hand of the dealer is 14, then the chance would be maybe 80%, right? If it's 10, let's say it's going to be 100%. And then if it's 14, it's going to be 60%, something like that, right? So I'm going to do something very simple. So let's just call it chance. Where's my music? What do we want to play? Let's try something new.
Learn from more than 325 experts so you can build new skills, earn job-ready certificates, and...
Okay, so let's just do whatever chance number or something. For now, it's not important. Okay, so now I am going to subtract. I want to see what the difference is, right? And so it's going to be 21 minus whatever the dealer points are. Okay, so, okay, good. Because I know it's under 21, right? And so this will give me the difference. Okay. Once I have the difference, so an example would be 21 minus, let's say we said minus 10, right? That's gonna give me 11, right? So let's do this. Let's do this, right? So let's say it's 11, right? That's gonna give me a 10. Perfect. What if it's 12? It's gonna give me a 9, right? What's gonna, etc. So now if I go all the way up to 21 minus 21, it's gonna be 0 chance, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. But because there's no 1 and there's only 2, I'm gonna have to code it a little bit differently. And maybe I want to apply ranges, but I think I want to stop at 19. So if, like, meaning at 19 I will have a chance of 10% chance of hitting. Why? Because there's a card of 2 that I can get in order to get a 21, for example, right? And then that means that I'm gonna go all the way down to maybe I don't know when I want to start. I can go to 9 actually. Start at 9. It's gonna be a 100%. TypeScript developer, yeah, pretty much. But I do multiple languages. I do PHP, Python, JavaScript in general, and Java. I've been coding for a long time, so I like the syntax and stuff. It's quite similar with all these. Okay, so let's work on the ranks here. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. If I have 9, it's gonna be 100%. I'm gonna be like 1. So from 10 to 19, the percentage of the hit is gonna change, right? If I have 9, it's most likely 100% I'm gonna pull another one. If I have a 10, again, it's a 90% chance I'm gonna pull another one. And I'm gonna reduce it, so when you're at 19, there's gonna be 10% chance you're gonna pull another card. You are working in Java, nice. Yeah, that's cool. Java is the king, they say, right? Okay, so for this, what do I want to do? Okay, so 10, it's gonna be 100% chance. Let's see if I do something like a table like this, and then it's gonna keep going down to 10%. Just for fun. Oh no. Okay. So, something like that, and then anything above 19 is gonna be 0%. Right. What's this? Okay. Something like that. It's a very, very silly way of doing it, but very primitive. I don't want to do a switch here, so I just want to compute it. How do I do it? So 21 minus 10 is going to give me 11. Which is going to be 100%. If I do 21, it's 12. I can just go with a 10 rule and then just inverse it based on the difference, right? Because this is going to be 21 minus 11, right? Or I can go with a minus 10. Adds. Yeah, how do I want to do this? Okay, I can just minus whatever is here actually, yeah. So let's do that. This is gonna be minus 10, this is gonna be 21 minus 11, and so on and so forth, right? Okay, whatever, and then, so this would give me a 10, this would give me, like a 9. And so on and so forth. Actually, no, I won't. It'll give me a 10. No, I can't. And well, if it's gonna go up because of difference. Okay. So 21 is 9, it's gonna be 10. And here I'm gonna have 11. Right? And then it's gonna keep going down to 9. So I can just use that. As a weight. So if dealer points is anything above 19, or yeah, if it's bigger than 19, then we can just say chance number is 0. Now else we're gonna try to calculate it. Okay, good. And so now to compute this, I'm gonna just do dealer points. So I'm gonna do 21 minus dealer points, okay, and then I'm gonna convert that into a percentage. Okay, so I'll just do percent chance. So we're gonna do 21 minus 0 points times, I believe, 10. Right, and then now I need to calculate the chance number. So actually here it's like more like hit chance or something. No, wait, chance number. Yeah, that's good. I can also define this outside, but okay. What? It's supposed to be defined. So let's do that then. We can do 0 to initialize. And then I'm gonna say if it's more than 19, I will override that percentage to that. Okay. Like so. And then I'm gonna use that to compare against whatever I'm gonna get random here. I believe this is what's gonna trigger the hit or not, right? So if this is true, then dealer hits. Show player hand, sure. Otherwise it's gonna stop. I don't know, this is gonna be very primitive. Let's see. See if it's gonna work. Okay, so card I don't want. Let's see. Let's double check this. No. Else. It should not come here, right? So log dealer turn, right? And here we say player turn. So let's try this again. Okay, so see when the dealer turn happens. Okay, there's an issue somewhere in the code. So it does come here, and then it validates. But I guess what's happening, I think it comes here. Right, I think it goes there. So what is it? So it doesn't come here for sure. We can show the player hand. Actually, wait, that's not player hand, that's dealer hand. Okay, so just do that. Show dealer hand. So this is gonna be the same thing, but it's gonna be dealer. Okay. And again, you can encapsulate this by providing like the param is gonna be the object, and then based on that you just get the name and dealer, but we can refactor that after. Okay, so this is gonna be show dealer hand. Okay, and let's see what we got, and then this is gonna be that. Okay, so let's see what the hand is. I think it's not going in here, it's going here, I believe, because the validation doesn't work, and I'm not sure why. We're gonna check that in a second. So anyways, I'm just gonna do that. So now it's dealer turn. Okay, the hand is displayed. Cool, but it's not working here. Something's wrong with that. Let me double check. Okay, yeah. So Where is it? I think I need to do another loop here or something. Right, like in here I need to do another loop. For example, okay, and then okay, before we do that, let's print what's happening here with the points, with the percentage. Right, let's print the percentage, right? So console log dealer chance to hit, percent chance, right? And then we can so do random chance, it's a number, and then we can do that, and then I can do this bigger than random chance. Okay, so let's see what we got there. Gonna be no. Okay, there you go. Oh, okay. So I have minus. All right, let's see why. That explains. Dealer chance to hit minus. Okay, so random chance says 24. Okay, that will change a lot, right? So because the multiplication will happen before the subtraction, that's why I have this number here, which doesn't make sense. So let's do the subtraction first, and then we're gonna multiply to have a percentage, right? All right, let's see. I think that was the problem. Okay, so let's say no. Okay, there you go. So dealer chance to hit 0% this time. Okay, let's take okay, and that's the reason for that is because you have a 10 and a king, and the points that's gonna be it's gonna be 20, and because it's 20, it's over 19. The chance stays at 0, right? Which makes sense. And so what I should do in that case, if this is okay, and here after this I should just end the game, right? So this game is gonna be false, and that's gonna prevent from asking that question, right? So let's do it again. I'm gonna say no. Okay, so that didn't work. Now I have a dealer chance to hit 130. Maybe I don't need to multiply by 10 then. Wait. Yeah, I don't need to, because that's going to be the percentage. Okay, yeah, fine. This is going to give me a value from, I believe, from 0 to, or from 10 to 100. That's going to be a 10. Okay, let's test that. Bust, okay. Let's try again. No. Chance to hit 7%. Random chances 7. Okay. So, okay, we're getting somewhere. Let me print the dealer points as well. This will give me a better idea of the values and what it does. Okay, so I'm gonna be no. There you go. So dealer points, so he has 10. There you go. So the chance should be 100%, right? Just do 22 there, but whatever. Let's see. No. Right, okay. Sounds good. Let's try again. Chance rate 140%. Okay, that's it. That's the problem I'm getting. I need to revisit that part. Okay, I see why. I see why. Okay, so in that case we can do if data points smaller than let's say 10 maybe. So with that, then the percentages will be 100. Something like that. Okay. Okay, so in that case, maybe, should we leave it at 100% then? Okay. What? You can do this? What? Okay, whatever. So if it's smaller or equal to 10 then, or we can do like that, then we're just gonna assume it's gonna be 100% then. Sure. So let's do no. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that worked. It pulled another card. But then my issue is that it's going back to the main loop. So that's the issue. So we need to make a loop. Right. Okay. So it pulled another card. That's awesome. So we made that work. because the dealer had 6 points. Let's try another one with and see if the dealer has more points this time. And see what the chance is to draw a card. I'm gonna say no. Okay, there you go. So dealer has 18 points and the chance to draw is 20%, which is what I coded. That's good. And then the random chance is 77. So because of that, see, it's not gonna it won't draw a card because this one has to be bigger than the random chance, right? Which is fine. This is how I want to code it. Perfect. Right. So I have this now. Let's look at the loop here. Okay, so actually and here maybe we need to make a like an else dealer stands, right? Because yeah, if he doesn't want to hit a card, it's gonna stand. And when you stand, I guess the game finished, right? And then once it's finished, now I need to make the comparison of who has the bigger hand, I guess. So if the game finishes, it's not gonna ask me, right? And so let's look at the loop here again. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna have to repeat. Sorry, I'm gonna have to repeat this section a little bit because I do need the loop. If I don't do the loop, then it's just gonna come back. It like I'm mixing both. It's not gonna work well. And yeah, so let's do that. Let's take this guy out right here. Okay, so else stand. Let me see where it ends. Okay, here. Okay, so this is the player turn, and then I have to do the dealer turn. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste this for now. Okay. Stand. Okay. So we'll do the same here. And we're gonna copy this code inside. Just like so. Okay, actually, do I just click here? And I want to move this a bit. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. show dealer hand. Okay, and good. So far so good. All right, I think show player. Okay, so this I'm gonna do that. This is gonna be show dealer hand. So if validation else. Okay. So if validation else, I'm going to show the dealer hand this time. Good. Okay, I think this is more or less okay now. And then at this point, if nobody won the blackjack, compare the hands, right? If no blackjack won, compare the hands, and then the one with bigger hand wins, right? Okay, so, but before we do that, let's just run the code once again. Oops, no, I don't need that. Nope, so that's gonna be a 19 for me. Yeah, what's going on here? Player turn. I said no. Oh, I see. Right, it says in the loop. Okay. I'm gonna have to rename this to something else. Okay, so we know, okay, that's that, and then let's set this again to true. Like so, and then it's gonna be the same idea. This game finished, false. I will have to modify that part because just because it should be a flag of player turn, not the game, because the game is still running. Yeah, okay, so I think that was the issue I had. Okay, so let's see what's going on now. Okay. Return. Would you like card? No. Okay. Did return. Okay. So it chose not to pull a card. That's why. So it stay with up. So okay, good. So we have that. Let's maybe try to see an example where the dealer will pull a third card again. No. Chance to hit 0. Okay, that's not gonna work because he had that's a 20 actually. So yeah, it's pretty good. Again, 20. Wait, what's going on here? Look at this. Yeah, 20. Okay, so I need to recheck this the code, because if there's a chance of 0%, it should not happen. See, I had a random chance of 1, and then it pulled a card because of that, right? Or oh, never mind. Never mind. No, sorry. This is the one. It pulled a card, so it was chance to hit is 80%, which is bigger than 49. So it went with it, and he got it third card. But now, he lost, right? Actually, no, he got a 20. Sorry. And there's a 0 chance to pull a knocker. Okay, so actually the logic works. I just need more coffee. Been a long day. Okay, good. So let's see. Does the player win, or does the dealer win? So if this player let me just double calculate points. Okay, so I'm gonna do two calls to here, player points and dealer points, right? So it's gonna be number. Okay, and I'm gonna do this calculate points. I'm gonna pass the hand of the player perfect and then dealer points. All right, cool. So we got that. And we can say if player points bigger than dealer points, we say whoever won, right? And we can say else if player points smaller than dealer points, then obviously the dealer wins, right? Or loses, whatever. Do that, okay? Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's see. Okay, so that's a 20. I'm gonna say no. And what the dealer got? The dealer got 18 with a chance of 20% to draw a card, but because of the random generator, that 20% meant no, I'm not gonna take the chance in that moment, and it did not pull a card. So I won this one. I won this round. And so after the game runs, what I can also do, I can do kind of like a session statistic, so that based on the games it collects like a history, and then it keeps looking at hands and so on and so forth. I think this would be more useful for enhancing the AI model. So think about memory, right? So imagine if you go to a casino, or if you play online for that matter, if you have a few hands, you maybe want to remember what the hands were, right? So you know what was pulled from the deck. So let's say if you're using the same deck, right, before they're being shuffled again. And so you can kind of like have an idea of what's past, what's coming. and I feel like the AI would get like an advantage of seeing the hands that were played, I guess, versus human, just because the AI will have way better memory. Okay, but that's more advanced. So far, I'm satisfied with how the this basic AI works to calculate the percentage of do I want to pull a card or not. Let's try again. Sorry, I'm not sure if you're... Oops. Made a blooper, or whatever it's called. Good. Let's try again. So again, I get a 19. I'm happy with that. Oh, look at that. Nice. That's an infinite loop. How did that happen? Oh, because it's a blackjack. Okay. Okay, cool. He got a blackjack. Damn. So that's actually good, because I need to stop the game when it's a blackjack, right? And the reason it doesn't stop is because it's because of this here, right? Let's go back, look at the loop. Okay, I think to fix that, what I can do here in the blackjack, I can just stop the game, right? So yeah, I guess this will fix that problem, right? So that's two. Man, I'm getting a lot of king hearts. What's going on here? Let's try again. Okay, I'm getting 6-2. Okay, so do I want to normal? Sure. Perfect. So now I have 18. I'm good with that. Okay, so the dealer got 17, so I had 18. Dealer got 17. Again, he had a chance of 30% to pull another card, and because of the randomizer at 83 chance, it chose not to do it, which is fine. And I win as a result, which makes sense. Let's try again. Man, this is fun. So I have a 15 now. Sure, let's try another one. And I have a bust. So in this case, the dealer should not does not need to pull more cards. Something that can be coded, but I lost basically. Yeah, it's 25 for sure. Okay, that's cool. Let's try again. So I have a 12. Yes, I want another card. And again, actually, let's see. Where is it? I get a queen. Okay. No, that's a dealer. Where's my turn? Here. Okay, so I got a king. It was a bust. Alright, okay. Yeah, so when that happens, maybe what I want to do, I want to code it so that it does not run the dealer once it's a bust, right? That's 17. Do I want? No. Okay. So I win again because the dealer has 16 and I have 17. Okay. So he had the dealer was close to pulling another card. See, it was 40%, so he was shy of 7% in order to pull the trigger. Try another game. Yes, I want another card. So I got an 8 right here. Okay, and then the other turn. So again, I win. 12. He had 80%. I think I need to play those numbers because 80% should be the chance to pull it. 80 should be quite high, right? That's unlucky, I guess. Alright, let's test this problem. Yeah, I absolutely have to do that because see, it's a bust, and the game that did not end. It should have ended though. See, so gaming says okay. Raise their hand. Okay, let's double check that, but it should have ended. Oh. This is not okay here. I think I coded that with an error right there. I don't think I need that anyways. Right. Okay. So this should be good. Okay. So I got a 10. 17. Okay, well, this is supposed to be a bust, exactly. Alright, so this is incorrect here. That's incorrect. There's no way I want that. Oh, I see why. I see why. Oh man, okay. So I need a better way to read if it's a bust or not, right? So this one here, right? So we can do that. And then if both have blackjack, then it's a draw, right? So oh yeah, let's do it explicit. And so we're gonna say player points equal deal points, but they're both 18. Sorry, they're both 21. And dealer points equals 21. So if that's the case, then that's a draw, right? Okay. Just so we cover that angle as well. So let's try this again. Player turn. So I have a 20. No, I'm okay with that. And then dealer got 17. All right, so I win. I think I'm a little bit biased, so I coded this this game, so I win more, obviously. So I have 14. Do I want? No, let's see if the dealer wins. Come on, let's. Oh, there you go. This is the first dealer win. Yay! All right, cool. I think this is good enough for now. It was a great session. I think I've been live for. Where's my session statistics? Okay, almost 3 hours. Wow. All right. We're gonna end it here. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And I guess the last part, I'm gonna add a new part in between where we're gonna improve this AI. We're gonna make it a little bit more intelligent, so it's gonna be harder to beat. Right now, it's quite easy. It only takes it looks kind of like an algorithm. It takes a look at what's the distance between, so like the cards, the points he has at hand versus how far it is from 21, and based on that I calculate kind of like a rank, if you want. I calculate a percentage of do I hit or I stand for a dealer, but that can be improved dramatically based on multiple factors, such as memory as well, right? And lastly, to make this work complete, I think that the dealer should be a trained model with AI based on a large data set to improve the decision making as to when it's going to hit or stand, right? All right, cool. Peace.